make him fly also.
Charlotte Soccer Show, we're back. How's it going, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Victory Sunday here in the Queen City. We beat the defending champs. We're the best. We never lose to defending champions in MLS. It's kind of interesting. 4-0 all time. The crown is now against the defending MLS Cup champ. But I hope everybody's doing good. I felt some joy, but also some relief after last night's big win. So we're here to talk about it, and we're going to do what I love to do in situations like this, which is listen to the press conference and figure out what they were really saying. So it's decoding the presser, we call it. We're going to hear from the Gaffer. We're going to hear from the captain. I should have done the Gaffer and the captain. We're live streaming on YouTube because, full disclosure, I've always believed in full transparency with the audience. I started to record this episode like offline, and I was like halfway through, and then I looked up and it was like not recording. And I was like really bitter about that because I hate wasting work, but we'll call it a dress rehearsal, I guess. And so I fired up take 2, if you will, and just decided to live stream it because that makes it easier, because then it just auto publishes and I don't have to do any of this work after the fact.
Yeah, I think so.
Nobody. So we're going to hear from Dean, and then we'll hear from Westwood, and I will pop in with my little cheeky commentary.
I mean, some new things for me. In over 1,000 games in football, I've never done 62 minutes in the first half. That's crazy.
That was wild. That was crazy.
There's some real new things. We played against a very good team who got restricted to 10 men. I've not seen the challenge back, so I don't know about it, but I thought we pressed well. We caused some problems, but they were always a threat on the transition. But we've missed some massive chances today in the first half too. But perseverance and patience and trying to do the right things managed to get us the win in the end.
And your overall assessment.
I like to hear, so that's pretty good. I like to hear Dean mention, it would have been easy to come out and be like, oh, we did it. We beat the champs. Yeah, we showed them. We're the fortress. But that was not a measured response, I think, is what's called for here, and that's what Dean just gave us. So that's good. Like I'll say, you'll hear me say this word more than once during this next 20 minutes or so. Relief. I definitely would not have wanted to walk out of that stadium with just 1 point, or God forbid 0 points last night when that Cucho goal was scored. And we didn't. I was counting on the VAR was pretty clear. It was pretty wide, obviously offside on that one. But yeah, you can see that Dean's like equal parts happy, equal parts whew, and that just finds me as well.
The bigger mistakes and things like that. How did you think they played?
I think they stuck to the game plan really well. We didn't want to jump too early and allow them to play the other side of us. So I thought we were really good winning the ball back. I just don't think we connected it as well as we can do at times. But saying that, we've had obviously the big chance with Breck. We've had the header with Kerwin, where I think if it had gone to VAR, he wasn't offside, all in the first half. But second half, we ended up moving Westy a little bit higher. We never connected the pass on the edge of the box, and that was pretty much what was needed there. And our captains put one in the top corner.
And Orfield's.
I love to hear that. I love to hear about a second half adjustment. That's coaching, that's managing. That's like seeing what's going on out in the field, out there, and reacting to it while there's still time on the clock. Brilliant. This is like 4 or 5 weeks in a row now that I've heard Dean say, we're not connecting the midfield. We're not connecting the midfield. We're not connecting as well as we know we can. And so he did something about it. He said, okay, well, let's move Westwood a little bit higher up the pitch and see what happens. And we saw what happened. I think that's great. I think talking about chances, I think Kerwin was offside. I don't know. I was pretty close to sort of a linesman view in that play, just from where I was sitting, and looked offside to me. I don't know. Dean was behind it, so we would have to see. He talks about how he always talks about how I haven't seen it, so we'll wait to hear more from him if he still thinks Kerwin was onside later. But I'm liking this sort of he's not over the top response from Dino right now.
He felt his hamstring, so he asked us. He felt that if he'd got on another minute, he may have pulled it. So, we'll assess it now.
Thank you.
Talking about
Cheers,
Arfield there, and
So
of course
after
Arfield's
the
injury led to
Westwood got that goal.
the penalty moment.
I think relief really, because
There it is. There's that
we
word.
had a lot of ball in the second half without creating a real clear-cut chance. I think we've had the Patrick's header, which just sailed into the goalkeeper's arms. We got in really good positions, but the final ball and the connection wasn't quite there. So yeah, a little bit of relief, but we needed to keep going because they were always a threat on the counter. So it was nice that Patrick got his rewards at the end.
So what's the mood of the locker room right now?
That insurance goal was.
Well, I said that we've got to make this a real tough place to come, like we did today. The Columbus Crew are the MLS holders. They were unbeaten
The who?
this season, and
The who, Dino? The Columbus, the crew, the Columbus Crew. Who? The Columbus who? Hey Dino, why did we save the crew anyway, Dino? I'm gonna ask him that in the next presser.
I think we've just drawn a line in the sand what we can do here. But I don't want to just do it here at this stadium. I want to do it on the road as well.
I almost feel like with the way that the near misses you guys had, you just glad to have the result, because if y'all hadn't won this game, what would that have felt like?
Yeah, no, it wouldn't have felt great with the missing the penalty and the the tapping. It's Kerwin's header all in the first half. It would have felt like we'd left some points out there. We feel like we have on the road. So it was nice to go and get that win today. And as I say, from the sidelines, it was probably relief. I think it was on the pitch as well.
And the PK.
That's a great question from
hindsight's
from
2020.
Carol. That's the question I would have been too scared to ask because because I've seen Dean usually when people ask him like if questions or hypotheticals, he's very savvy and very quick to be like, well, that's just a hypothetical, or I can't respond to that because I don't know. It's an if, So like he's very good at that. So that's your sign that he really loves Carol Rogers Walton, clearly, because he took that question from her and he actually entertained the hypothetical nature of it. I think it's a good question, and it goes to that whole sense of relief because like if we had lost that game or not won that game, even a draw, I think a 0-0 draw would have been like, oh, okay, we did it, but we needed those goals at the end because we needed the win. Like it would just be a very different feeling. I feel so much momentum now. We were coming off a 2-match losing streak, so if we had had a 3-match losing streak, or if we had walked out with 2 points out of 12 of the last 12, it's just a totally different feeling than being undefeated at home and beating the champs. And so I think there was a huge swinging difference here between 3 points and 1 point or 0 points. And so I'm glad Carol asked the question. I think Dino answered it kind of measuredly, but what can you do? What can you do? I want to shout out anyone who's watching us live here. Andres Echevarria, what's up, man? This was not designed to be like a live stream, but I'm glad folks are here. I'm just doing this as a live stream because I botched the recording of it earlier, and it's just like saving me time now to just do it live. But I will pop some comments for folks who are in the mix. So love that we got a result with this lineup. I do too, and we almost didn't because of a sub taking a penalty kick poorly. I think Dean's about to talk about that.
But do you think you had the right guy taking it?
Yeah, he's been taking really good penalties, during the week in training, and he was confident enough to take it. It happens. I always say it's what you do next. Some of the best players in the world have missed penalties in big tournaments as well, like World Cups. So it's always what you do next. Thank you.
What do you do next? I mean, I get it. It's what you do next. That's another Dean line. He loves to say that. I think he says, what's what you do next? It's what you do next always when he's talking about player mistakes. He doesn't like harp on players, and I think that's good. He doesn't try to speak to players through the media, which some coaches might do. Not referring to anyone specific there, am I? But I gotta say, so here's my question. I hear Dean say it's always what you do next, and he's defending this guy, and Yuri was taking good penalties in practice. That means nothing to me. Yuri's a rookie. It was a practice versus packed Bank of America Stadium in a 0-0 game in the 60th minute of the first half. You've already talked about how that's a huge outlier, Dean, for your career. So in an outlier situation, maybe you shouldn't maybe you should assess the situation for what it is instead of just like sending up the guy who's been doing good in practice. I think it was a horrible move. I think the fact that he had just subbed in, like I said, for Arfield's injury made it much worse. Even I wouldn't have sent him up to take the penalty, even if he had started the game. Maybe I would have, but probably not. I think the captain, I think a striker, I think Deagra, I think Malanda. I think Tavares might have been like the 11th guy that I chose, or maybe even the 12th guy that I chose, including Dean himself, to walk on the field and take the penalty, just for all the circumstances. So my question is, you say it's what you do next in regards to Yuri, and he's going to pump up his guy, and that's good. My question is, what do you do next, though, Dean? Like, what do you do next to, like, look at the man in the mirror and, like, next time that we have a penalty, what are you going to do as the manager to, like, make sure that the right person's up there taking it? I mean, I know you're going to defend Yuri being up there to take it because you're following sort of your system, but, like, I'm a big circumstances guy. I like to, like, play, and I need to know the circumstances and the context of decisions and things like that. And like, I'm a big phrase for me is case by case basis. And this was a case where you just, there was no justification in my mind as not a professional soccer manager to send Yuri up there.
When it comes down to who the goal, the penalty taker, is that a decision that you make, but you all make? What is that process like?
Yeah, the players will practice penalties during the week, and it's pretty much, you know, who we feel at the time is the best person to take it. You know, Yuri's been in really good form. His technique has been really good in training, so we just felt it was right for him to take it.
And then just,
I said what I said, and I meant what I meant. And that little follow-up does not change any of my opinions of what I just said. Wrong guy, wrong spot, wrong call.
I mean, Barnabas just a week ago seemed like it was a tough injury, but he got the spark tonight. Just what was your assessment of him to get the spark today?
I think he done really well. He showed us in training the last couple of days that he was good, and, you know, showed a lot of courage to want to get in the team and play after, you know, hobbling off last week. You know, we had a scan come through that was telling us that, you know, it was a ligament injury, and he's played through the pain today, which, you know, really helps us. I think if he hadn't been fit, I might have changed the system a little bit. But because he because he was fit, I was happy to go with him, and I thought he played well today.
And then lastly, what does he
Protect Kerwin Vargas at all costs. We say it often on this show, and we mean it. And we'll say it again. We'll keep saying it. Shout out Christian Stivison. I don't want to see anyone under 25 take a penalty again. Yeah, here's what I want to see. I want to see us make a penalty. That we'll start from there. Then we'll go forward. Shout out Jorge Torres for being in the chat. Maybe we'll just start doing Decoding the Presser live every time. Who knows if people are going to be chatting away. Buenos dias, sir. Buenos dias to you, my friend. Hope everyone, since I got a Colombian in the house, I'm going to talk about my coffee. We're powered by Burr and Barry this morning, little drive-through coffee shop on South Boulevard that I always like to swing by. I'll go out of my way to stop there because the coffee is really good, and the people are so friendly. Another great Jorge connection there is Dino here talking about Vargas. You know, Kerwin played amazing, and you heard him shout out the defensive work. You heard him shout out the chance created. I wish that header would have gone in. I do think it was offside. But I would have loved to take a look at it. But yeah, just for a guy who's like hurt and had to leave the game last week, for him to come in, do the full match and just work his ass off and do the defensive work, the work rate, incredible from Kerwin. Protect him.
Playing and then.
Well, I think he could come on the inside if he's on the left, and he can play them little passes inside for runners to get on. He's got a good delivery when he's on the right-hand side as well. And he helps protect the fullbacks as well. He works extremely hard. You know, he'll be as disappointed as anybody with his chance today. But again, it's what you do next. And, you know, he played well for the team.
We're not trying to put Kerwin into a pigeonhole on the right or on the left. We're keeping Kerwin's just an all-around attacker. Kerwin can do and go whatever and wherever he wants.
Yanni played really well. You know,
yes, he did.
He came on and, you know, did what he had to do, caused problems. I thought JP, it was his debut today, full debut. I thought he was excellent today as well.
Good shout out.
Defended balls over the top really well. Was calm on the ball. You know, and I think it helps that them two know each other really well. You know, they're thick as thieves whenever you see them. you don't normally see one without the other. So, you know, there's a bit of a blossoming relationship as friends going on there.
Oh my gosh, that is the cutest thing I've ever heard. Diani and João Pedro are buddies. How great is that? Oh, amis, as they say in France. I need the Charlotte FC content team to get cranking on a buddy cop little movie, like a Beastie Boys Sabotage style thing with Diani and JP immediately. Jabril and Zhao, match made in heaven. That's incredible. Working on that left side was great. I loved Zhao's game. I loved Jabril's game. Diani's amazing. Great. What a fantastic signing. Same guys who from the team that brought you Adilson Malanda. We present Jabril Diani. Like, these scouts are killing it, going and finding these guys in the French academies, and we love that. French soccer academies are very well known around the world for being very good, better than their professional teams. So we love it. And just the burgeoning buddy system between Jabril and Zhao is fantastic. Need to know more about that. I love Dean's answer here. The fact that he did shout out, he used the question about Diani to shout out Zhao. That's a veteran manager move to make sure he get that mention of the full debut in there. That's clutch.
Yatra had a very, very good chance with them for that and missed it. Joe, talk about that when he came on.
No, because players know. You don't have to tell them. I mean, I think that's rubbing salt in the wounds. We have to
Hey, Brecht, remember when you missed that shot? Hey, go sit on the bench.
show empathy
Not
with
gonna
them.
happen.
And again, it's what you do next. I think that's always the most important thing.
And then finally, tonight was Porter Crown Night in Charlotte, so I wanted to know if there are any women in soccer who specifically inspire you.
I think there's plenty of women that's just not in soccer who inspire me, but across the world, starting with my wife and my daughter. But it's great to see women in sport doing so well. I mean, we've got Alicia, our nutritionist, we've got Karine, our trainer, who work extremely hard for the team and well respected. And it's good to see so many women moving into soccer now.
Thanks, Coach.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Shout out to my inspirational women in soccer, the Queen's Pitch podcast. My friends Kara and Bridget, they absolutely kill it, and many other women around this club. Obviously doing great things. But those two are my friends, so I'm going to shout them out amongst others. As far as the earlier question about Brechty, by the way, I don't think Dean's actually done here. There's still time on this timeline, even though they seem to be wrapping up. So we'll find out. But Brechty, I don't know, man. Obviously, you're not going to talk to him about it right when he subs off, but and he does know. I'm sure that miss has been playing over and over again in Brecht's head all night. He probably didn't even sleep. But all I'm going to say is he could have gotten down on all fours and blown the ball in, like he was blowing out the candles on a birthday cake, and that would have had a better chance of scoring than what he did with the little shuffle that he did with his feet. So Brecht scored one of the most amazing goals we've ever seen last year. And he's also had some rough moments. So love the guy. Thought he would come out here and have an MVP season for the Crown. It has not started off happening that way yet, but we're working on it.
Oh, sorry.
You referenced that 62 minutes the first half. You played a lot of football
we still
matches.
going,
It's
baby.
The first time you've seen
Dean's
it,
not done.
especially with the chaos that sort of happened towards the end.
Chaos.
Did it change the halftime talk for you? The emotional and physical strain, or is it still just kind of business as usual?
No, it's pretty much business. We've got two coaches up in the stand watching the game, so I wanted to know what they'd seen and forget about when it was 11v11, because it's not 11v11 anymore. What have you seen since it's 11v10, and break that down and then go and give some simple instructions to players. Ask them what they're seeing and feeling on the pitch first. It's always good to get their feedback, and then, right, this is our plan for the second half now. Now it's changed a little bit because they've got a man down, but you don't even reference the chances we've had because, as I say, it's always what you do next.
And lastly,
No need to reference those. They were pretty rough, and everybody knew about them. I would love to be a fly on the wall for a Dino halftime speech. It'd be interesting, or just some type, because the guy's so positive, right? And all we see is happy Dino. We very much, although he looks kind of chagrined right there, but we get to meet happy Dino here in Charlotte. He's a very happy guy in general, and he shows us the happy side of his personality most of the time. So I would just like to see. I have seen angry Dino on some old clips when he was really mad at referees and stuff like that back in England. So what can I say? I would love to just sort of get to observe Dean when he flips that switch, over the top style, Sylvester Stallone style, and who knows how angry he could get.
There was a groundswell of noise, even the ground. The fans really stood up and made a lot of noise at that mark. obviously, quite just a few minutes later, Ashley Westwood hits the volley. How do you feel like this team is connecting to its fans?
You can see at the end how well connected they are. I mean, these fans are integral to what we do. Not just the supporters,
You're damn
but
right
the
we
community
are.
as well. It's a community club. We're only young as a club, but I think we're still growing. Our fan base is tremendous, and I think it's probably one of the envies of the league as well. And we want to continue growing that.
With Jerry,
The envy of the league.
why did
Gotta
he
love
get
it.
the start?
He flew back economy class late last night, so he was back early this morning. I just thought it'd be too much of a push to put him into the game.
Economy class, wait, that's just one.
They can't get Yere a charter flight from Wales to come back to America. That's crazy. But yeah, Yere was never going to start that one. But I do like the fact that he came on for that cameo sub at the end to waste a little clock time and just check his box for having appeared in every MLS game this season. Not bad. I'm not sure. I don't know if Finland has any more dates in the internationals coming up. So I want to say thanks to everyone who's watching live. We got Ashley Westwood coming up in a second. Jorge, great point here. Shout out to DJ Derek Jones. Has got it going on. Derek, secret sleeper agent ninja. He helped us out. Derek always has great performances for Charlotte FC at the Fortress, and last night was no exception. Sorry, Derek. Don't mean to troll you there, but just kind of had to.
Everybody wanted you to score.
Let's hear some Westwood.
Right?
It was coming. I should have scored the first one. Scotty Arfield reminded me as soon as I got in. I should have scored the first one, but like I said, the Gaffer made a quick change. He put me higher up, swapped me and Didi, and it just arrived, and thankfully it's got in the net and put us on the way to 3 points.
The way everything went with the near misses in the first half for you guys to how bad did you need this result?
We knew it was the manager said before the game, go and set a statement tonight. They're the so-called best team in this league, and even against 11 men, I thought we started unbelievably. We were on the front foot. We were the better team, and like I said, we've set a marker tonight. We've shown we can compete. The first half was tough. I've never been in a game like it in my life. But like I said, this shows the character. We stuck at it, and the fans were, honestly, our fans are unbelievable. They stuck with us right until the last minute, and they got the rewards.
What was the message?
Man, Ashley talking so fast, I can hardly get a commentary in. But that's pretty awesome. How great is it that, this guy scores like not a worldly, but just a really, really clutch, technical, skilled goal in a pressure-packed moment where we needed it more than ever. And they asked him about it after the game, this amazing goal that he scored. And he goes, yeah, I really should have scored the one right before that. That's classic. I mean, that's classic soccer player, classic accountability. I mean, we're always thinking about what we could do better. We mentioned that. But, the relief, he's a little understated there, I would say, in terms of like how much we needed it. Maybe they know more inside than he's like showing public face of how much they needed it. But trust me, Ashley, we needed this one. We needed this one bad. This was not a go get 1 point or like shrug off a tough loss. There was no moral victories to be had tonight. We needed the 3 points, and thanks to this guy, we got them.
In that locker room in halftime, it went up to minute 60. There's a penalty missed. There's a goal called off, a red card.
Insanity.
What were you guys thinking during the half?
It was just keep doing what we're doing. We stick at it. We had, I thought the half-time came at a good time. We regrouped. We got going. We changed a few things. Like I said, we stuck at it. And playing against 10 men is hard. They sit in, they defend. So
I love that. I thought the halftime came at a good time. Well, if it hadn't come then, when was it going to come? I mean, absolutely insane for sure. I mean,
the best teams in the world struggle, but tonight we showed a different side of us. We showed a mature performance tonight, and like I said, we stuck to the last minute and got the win.
Nice. And then the goals that you've had just for Charlotte in general have just been, absolute bangers. Is that just a Westwood staple that we can expect?
I strike the ball well. Even in the Premier League, I should have scored more goals, but it's not easy to score the goals. But thankfully tonight we're in, and like I said, it's got us a massive win.
Can you describe the walk up to that goal, the lead up to that?
There's just never it's never good enough. It's all, I should have scored more in the Premier League, but we have a saying over at American Legion at the Independence side of this soccer city where we say Omar Cease only scores bangers. We may have to extend that to Ashley Westwood because he scores some bangers himself as well.
I've just seen it. The lad cleared it. I saw the keeper was. I don't know where the goalkeeper was. I was going to hit it first time, But luckily it was too high, fell to my chest. I took a touch and let it rip, and it's gone in.
Hey, Westy, in that first half, it took a while to get the flow going, obviously.
Love hearing a
False
great player
starts
break
and
down his own goals.
Just
That
all
was
the
all fun.
craziness that was going on with it. How did you get with the team and kind of recuperate? I know you said at halftime you made the adjustments, but just during that first 60-minute half, what did you guys do on the pitch just to kind of work through that?
It was like it's the most bizarre game, first half I've ever been involved in. I was frustrated. I was extremely frustrated with certain things, which I'm not going to talk about. But we like I said,
Why aren't
half-time
you gonna
come,
talk
we
about
stuck at it, we showed our maturity in the second half, and we've got a huge win.
Okay, guys, let's go last one right here.
Pardon, mate?
Winning cup of tea tomorrow.
It'll be more than that tonight. I'm going to enjoy with a cold one tonight, and then tomorrow it's back to work.
There you go. Okay.
Enjoy it with a cold one, brother. We love it, Captain. Thank you for that commentary. Always, we support that on the show. How about you come on Charlotte Soccer Show Sunday at Hot Fly with us, and we'll have more than one cold one for sure. Ashley, we'd love to have you come join us on the show. We'll talk to the comms team and hopefully make that happen. Would be a fun treat. You're always open invite for sure. Thanks everybody. That's Decoding the Presser. We got a lot more to talk about. We'll be talking about Ajman. We'll be talking about Brecht. We'll be talking about Westwood. We'll be talking about Dino. We'll be talking. We might even spare for a few words for the Columbus crew, the Columbus who. We don't really know. We don't really know who they are. We just know that they were saved so that they could come to Bank of America Stadium and lose repeatedly. We love it. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. For the crown, baby.